Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today is senior project engineer, traffic engineer, Ross Kaler. We were kind of discussing your title. It's a big title.
Yeah,
but I like it.
Usually I just go by transportation engineer because I feel like that explains it best.
But senior project engineer sounds really cool.
Yeah, it's official. That's what it is.
It is official. We are not here to talk about titles. In fact, we're here to talk about traffic signals and a little bit of traffic safety stuff. There's directional arrows that are at intersections now. A lot of them are blinking yellow. There's always been the yellow light that's blinking, but maybe you see the arrow one that's blinking and you're thinking to yourself, what does that mean?
The flashing yellow arrow, in the industry, we call it a permissive left turn. Basically, flashing yellow arrow means that there is still oncoming traffic from the other direction, but you do have the ability to make a left turn if you have a gap in traffic. So you have to wait for a gap, then you can make your turn. The other type of arrow that this is kind of contrary to is a solid green arrow, which a solid green arrow, green light means go. There's no oncoming traffic. They have a red light, so you can be safe just making your left turn if you have a solid green arrow. And then a red light obviously means stop. Do not go. Do not do anything.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Exactly.
Stop.
Yeah.
So I think a question will come up is I'm sitting at the traffic light and the regular lights turn green, and then that turn signal turns yellow. And you're like, oh man, what do I do?
So if it's flashing, that means that both directions have green lights, and like I said, you have to wait for your gap in traffic to make your turn. If it's a green arrow that then goes to yellow and then to red like a regular signal does, you are basically just being told that the signal is going to turn red, just like a normal traffic light. So
the next question might be is where are we going to find some of these? Because we have some of these in Fitchburg.
Yeah, so the Seminole Highway and McKee Road intersection, that was Fitchburg's first traffic signal that we have been responsible for, back in the 80s. That signal can actually do both of these things that we're talking about, the flashing yellow and the solid green, and it does do them at different times in the light cycle. We've got detector loops in the intersection that can tell how many cars are sitting at the light, and they will make the signal do different things depending on how backed up things are. There's detector loops at all four legs of basically every intersection in Fitchburg. They're at various points. Some of them detect if there's one car, two cars 200 feet back from the intersection. We do different things with them depending on the traffic we expect when we design that intersection.
I would love to see the software for this. I'd just be curious to see just how you program that and kind of collect that data, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We are sticking on that lane. So ultimately, again, if you see these arrows, obviously see what it's going to do and then kind of make your choice from there. And certainly DOT's website, I was looking ahead to here just to make sure I could see all these different things. They are spelled out for you here on Wisconsin DOT's website. Probably showed you some of those images as we've been talking about this. So certainly you can kind of check back to that. Well, let's move on then to just onto the bike side of things. So we have the bikes, whether you're on the road or on the path, but following kind of the rules of the road. So if you're a biker, let's start on the road side. If you are biking on the road, what are you following as far as traffic information?
If you're biking on the road, whether it's in a designated bike lane or if you are using an actual regular traffic lane like you are allowed to do on a bike, if you're on the road, you're following the traffic signal that is normally thought about as being for cars. So if it's red, you can't cross the intersection. If it's green, you can. Same thing with all the turns and stuff, exact same rules as a car. But obviously, all around Fitchburg, we've got very nice system of bike paths, multi-use paths, actually. If you're biking on the multi-use path, then you would pay attention to the pedestrian signals if there is a signal at that intersection. So you'd go across if you've got the guy walking, the white signal, and you'd stop if you've got the hand up and it's orange, like normal. We've also got stop signs and yield signs on the multi-use paths at a lot of our intersections, so make sure you're obeying those if you're on a bike or walking. Just be aware of traffic around you. Cars are obviously supposed to stop at all these places as well, but bike and pedestrians are more vulnerable than people in cars, so it's a personal safety thing to keep in mind as well.
And if you do get to an intersection where you're pressing across the area where you can highlight some lights, and really that's to warn drivers like, hey, I am standing here, I do want to cross. Same rules apply there, hit that button. That doesn't mean that cars are going to stop necessarily, right?
Right, so they just alert drivers that they have to yield to the pedestrian in the crosswalk. So it's technically the same rules as normal. You know, cars have to yield to pedestrians in crosswalks at all times, but we have some areas where we've got these flashing lights that really, really alert the car drivers, and they do increase yield rates up to about 97%, so they're very effective.
Yeah, I mean, we've got quite a few of them, especially on some of the bigger intersections, our major state crossings with one of the bike paths that you were referring to, the trails and whatnot. So certainly you've got that. If anybody has any questions about any of this stuff or why we do the things that we do as far as putting in traffic signals or any questions, how can people reach out?
So my phone number is 608-270-4266, and then my email is ross.kaler@fitchburgwi.gov. Pretty easy to get a hold of. Happy to answer any questions.
All right. Well, I appreciate the update, and hopefully you learned something today, or it was a good review of understanding what's going on there, and appreciate all the work that you and the team are doing. You guys are doing awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet.